Hey everyone, Tucker here from Beating Break Even. Today I wanted to share a story of my first real estate deal and how I went from sitting on the sidelines to finally becoming a real estate investor. Back in 2019, I was working as a commercial underwriter at a bank in Midtown Manhattan. I'd been analyzing multifamily properties in NYC for years, but deep down, I wanted to be an owner and not just analyze deals for others. I had spent years learning everything I could about real estate. I read a couple books by Bigger Pockets, my favorite being BRRRR. This book got me super focused on real estate and taught me more than I could imagine. I'd call brokers whenever I saw a listing that had potential, ask them to send me more listings that were similar, and I would analyze deal after deal using an Excel model that I would project. And I would project almost every metric you could imagine, from ROI to almost the closing cost down to the exact cent. I got really good at running numbers, projecting cash flow, estimating expenses, and figuring out whether a deal would work or not given the market. One day my dad sent me a listing that he found on Zillow, a 3-bedroom, 1-bath condo in my hometown. I hadn't been looking at condos at the time and mostly focused on single-family homes. The condo was listed at $175,000, and I knew the area well because I grew up just down the street. I saw it as the perfect opportunity to get into the game. Since I was living in New York at the time, this deal really appealed to me because for this specific condo, it was able to be conveyed to the next owner as a rental, which was very important. And condos don't need much exterior maintenance with the help of the HOA and their services. I was really stoked. Since underwriting deals was my day job, I built an Excel model for this specific property to run the numbers. The rent was currently $1,500 a month, and my projected expenses, including the real estate taxes, HOA fees, insurance, and loan payments, came to about $1,700 a month. That meant that I'd be putting in $200 extra per month out of pocket. This was not ideal, but I saw this as a stepping stone. My goal wasn't to hit a home run. I just needed to get into the game and start learning firsthand. Once I knew that I really wanted this place and I was going to fully commit, I called the broker that had been sending me deals and I told her that I was extremely interested in this condo. The first thing she said was that I need to be pre-qualified for the mortgage. I had recently seen ads for Rocket Mortgage, so I signed up on their site and got a pre-qualification within a few hours, because they are so quick. I did need to show them my W-2 and my bank statements in order to do so. Once I had that, I called my broker back and I started discussing the offer that we were going to put together. The condo was listed at $175,000. Using a tip that I learned from Never Split the Difference, I made a weird offer at $170,777. The seller countered at $171,777, and I accepted it. In the meantime, I had called a local credit union who said that I could do an investment property with a conventional mortgage for 15% down. That was $25,000 plus another $10,000 for closing costs. The buyer accepting the offer was the first challenge. The second one was pulling together all the money that I needed to get this deal closed. I had $10,000 in a savings bank and $6,000 in my Robinhood investment account. And my plan for the other $19,000 was to pull from my 401k that I'd been saving for with my corporate job. I was at about $46,000 at the time of the deal in my 401k account. Now, I had the brilliant idea of using my 401k as a bridge loan. The reason that this was good was because it was quick funding and I was paying myself. The bad part was that repayment terms on a 401k are a pain. You must choose the term yourself, and there is no early prepayment unless you pay off the entire loan at one time. You can't just do bits and pieces, which is what I originally wanted to do. Because I needed to get this deal done within 30 days, I just wired the loan from my 401k and then to my bank account. I slapped on a 5-year repayment and had the proof of funds I needed to close, which was $35,000. After I closed on the property, I called up my grandmother, who was one of my biggest fans, and asked her if she'd like to be another bridge loan investor for me. I asked her if she would loan me $19,000 so that I could buy out my 401k loan and put all that money back into the market while paying her a monthly payment at the same rate. She agreed, and I took that money and paid off my 401k. Since this had been over the span of a month, the market had dipped quite substantially back then. When I remember, I basically bought a month dip, and that money performed well over the next few years, so it was kind of a win-win situation. Once I had the property, I called up my tenants and introduced myself. One of my biggest lessons came from managing tenants. It was a weird feeling at first being responsible for another person's shelter, a feeling I quickly got used to. I initially tried to raise the rent right away, due to my analytical mind and yearn to at least break even. But the tenants reminded me that I couldn't do that until the end of their lease. It was kind of a rookie mistake. Over time, I gained experience dealing with the leases, managing repairs, and improving the cash flow. When the tenants eventually moved out 3 years later on good terms, I repainted, made minor updates, and was able to raise the rent to $18.25. In 2021, I refinanced the loan again at 3%, which brought my monthly cash flow to $550, which was a $750 increase. That first deal taught me so much about tenants, property management, and the power of just getting started. This first deal really whet my appetite for real estate and showed me that being a real estate investor wasn't as daunting as I thought it would be. Although you are new to the game, it really does teach you a lot about yourself and what it means to have responsibility. It proved that my goal of building a real estate portfolio was achievable as long as I stayed consistent and kept learning. Your first deal doesn't have to be perfect. The most important thing is that you take the first step. You'll learn by doing, and each deal will get easier. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments about your real estate journey. See you next time on Beating Break Even.